and welcome back to Dance Geek. So this video started out in a very different place to where it is now. I started this as a pirouette training video with some exercises that would help you to do pirouettes better, not a tutorial on how to do pirouettes. Yeah, so it's all about strengthening your pirouettes. But I realized when I sat down to edit it, I realized there was two videos here. The first set of exercises weren't really specific to pirouettes, and that's how I got this idea to do a video on the most important exercise I think you should be doing as a dancer to make you a better dancer. And a lot of this comes from very recent, as in the last couple of years, research being done here in Australia actually, with the Australian Ballet Company, and looking at injury prevention through strength rather than through flexibility or stretching, other sorts of, and other things. Quality, not quantity, is the key here. If you can get to 30 rises a day on each leg, that's great, but it doesn't count if the quality is not good. So really work on getting, say, 5 to 10 even, of good, strong, technically correct rises every day, and then build up from there. A big thank you to Kiarra for being my demo person. If you have any questions about this exercise, please pop it in the comments below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'd really also appreciate it if you subscribed to my channel. So click the subscribe box down the bottom, make it turn from beautiful red to grey. If the bell icon is active, click that as well. Make sure you set it to all, and then you'll get notifications when I upload a video. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. It'll really help me out and boost my channel up. Also, quick little side note, this is mostly to my dad. I'm having major sound issues in this video. Not this one right this second, but in the footage you're about to see. I tried, okay? I tried. Rises are an essential part of dancers' training, whether you're a ballet dancer or jazz or any other dancer. I also think they're essential for people who walk. If you walk and you're a person, you should be doing these every day to strengthen. So what we're looking for in rises is that your knees remain lifted and straight the whole way through. We don't want to see a relax or release in the knee in order to come up. So a half plie in order to get up to rise to the demi point, we don't want to see that. We also want to see that your ankles are tracking nicely and straight. So they want straight up and straight down. Something that I like to tell my dancers is think of the seam at the back of your dance shoes, or just a point at the very, very center back of your heel, and think of pushing from the back over the top of the center of your toes. So that's going to be like toe number 2 and 3. That's where you want it to go, directly over the top. And another really good thing, especially if you've got a dancer who has slight sickling or they have too much mobility sideways in their ankles, get them to go up onto demi point, and then without looking at their feet, you position them so that they go, that is wrong, that's an outward sickle, and then go the opposite way, and that's too much of an inward sickle. So then they feel the difference between correct and incorrect. Okay, and then coming down again, and they want to get that straight line all the way up and straight line all the way down. When you're going into a single leg in parallel, so we'll lift this leg, that's it. We want to make sure that this foot, and I can't tell you how many times I've told Kiarra to get this foot in the correct position. It's not just her, it's like all dancers. They just do it, and I don't know why. They'll either go too far back here, or they'll flop it down here and they'll think that that's in the right position, or no. They want to get it where, like on top of their ankle. So the ankle bone is here. Again, get them to feel it, don't look. Yeah, don't look at it. You want them to feel the right position. So they put their big toe on the ankle and then slide up a little bit. using under here to hold this foot in the correct position. And then just above that ankle at the side of the leg is where you want it for these rises. Okay, so they go up and down, and they're using this tracking again, quality, not quantity. Ideally, you'd be getting to 25 and 30, but it's better to do 10 correctly than 30 incorrectly. I always say to my students, when you start to feel the calf or any part of your leg fatiguing or feeling a bit sore, don't stop and don't bend the knee. What you need to do first is lower the height of your demi-point. So the leg remains completely straight, the body remains completely still. This should just be the heel lifting up, and because of that, it causes the calf to lift. Okay, that's why they're called calf raises. Calved? There's no T in calf. Calf raises. So these are really good to do for all dancers. I always give them at the end of bar in all my ballet classes, even my 8-year-olds young grade 2 ballet. I always give this at the end of bar and change the amount that they do depending on their level and ability. When you're in turnout, this is a really good opportunity to help with placement. With placement of dancers who have hypermobility. So I have hypermobility. Ideally, you do want the heels to touch, but they don't absolutely have to. A small gap is fine, but you want to get your dancers really activating the VMO. So that's the inside, low down on top of their kneecap. And they should be thinking of lifting the VMO as the heel lifts up. And again, thinking of the back of this heel going to the center. Kiarra has a very, very slight outward sickle towards her little toe in her right foot because of a tendon injury she had a few years back. So it comes up and then it sort of settles here a little bit. And she's really working on that to help strengthen it. And the next exercise we're going to do involving your TheraBand will help with that kind of thing. The next exercise, we're going to be doing our parallel rises with the TheraBand wrapped around the ankle. So face the bar. So we're going in parallel. Yep. Now again, you can do this on a single leg or 2 legs. When Kiarra was coming off of her injury to this tendon, I had her doing these with the TheraBand just on one leg, but with both feet on the ground for her rises. And normally you could tie this to the bar, but this bar isn't massively sturdy, so I'm going to hold it for her. But in the studio, just tie it to your bar. Okay, so what we're doing is this is sitting around her ankle, and she's going to just do her normal rises, but the TheraBand is going to want to pull her into that sickled position. Okay, so what she needs to do is strengthen all the muscles through the ankles and the foot in order to resist going into that sickled position. And then keeping the TheraBand on the same side, so it's looped over here, she's going to put this on her opposite foot. And she's still going to be doing her rises, parallel rises, but this one is going to want to pull into a winged position, and she's going to want to strengthen against that. Winged feet look beautiful in adage, especially in an arabesque, but they're not supportive as a base in pirouettes, and that's what these exercises are for. So if you have somebody who does have a beautiful wing foot naturally, this particular one is really, really good to strengthen their wing so that they're only using it when it's appropriate and safe to be used. Turned out on one foot, you want your toe of the lifted leg to be in a coude-pied position, petit battement position. This is another position where most dancers, in my experience, think that it's a lot lower. I'm like, no. Okay, so you still want it to be where the ribbons are, just above the ankle, or literally just above the ankle. And there's a little divot in there, and that's where I like to put mine, in there. Or you can put it at the back here. You can do the wrapping, whatever. It's It's completely up to you. It shouldn't be resting on the leg, but it should be in a quite comfortably lifted position. And the leg should remain straight the whole way through. And up she goes. So for ballet dancers, when you're working in turnout, this is important for anyone working in turnout, but especially for ballet dancers, this is a really good time to think about the rotation of the supporting leg. So when you're doing the rises, you should be focusing on the basics like alignment of and tracking of that ankle and heel. But you also want to be thinking of rotating from the center here. So feel this constant feeling of rotating like a circle going around that leg. And it's because this is at the start of a class or part of your warm-up, it's a really good time to really get your head into that rotating turnout. Yeah, see again, Kiarra's just gone that little bit too low. And she's going to be thinking of going from the inner seam of her pants or her leggings around the front and back. So it's really rotating up high underneath where the glute and hamstring, underneath the glute where the hamstring really meets it in here. Just feel that sense of constant rotation. It's a much safer way to approach your turnout than to just think of the turnout as being a static held out kind of thing. And turnout is really important in pirouettes, and we'll get to that later. You can either stay at the bar for this next set or come away from the bar. We're going to do a series of forced arches in in turned out first and in parallel first. Starting in a plie, and you're lifting the heels as high up as they can go and down. And up and down and up and down. In a forced arch, I like to see the student's head not lifting. Okay, they're not supposed to be coming up and down like in a normal releve series where the body is going up and down, it's changing your height. In a forced arch, we're using the weight of the body to put some extra pressure into the feet to help strengthen them further. Again, you want to keep the tracking of the ankles nice and strong. And you want to start to, from a pirouette point of view, start getting your students or yourself to think of pushing down into the ground. So rather than thinking, lift up and down, I want you to think, push those feet into the ground. Really ground yourself, plant your roots into the ground and stay nice and strong connection to the ground. And in first position, and same thing from at the bar, we're going to really feel that rotation nice and high up here. So we stay in the plie and lift the heels and lower the heels. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Up and down, up and down. But again, making sure that it's the heels that are lifting, not this level here. You want to keep at here as if your roof is right on top of your head and you can't actually go up. So there you have it, the most important exercise you can do as a dancer to really strengthen your technique. I want you to be doing rises every day, okay? Do your rises every day. Don't wait for class, don't wait for your teacher to tell you to do them in class. Rises every day, straight legs, up and down. Okay, they really help to strengthen and prevent injury. I can't crap on about this enough. Rises every day. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and for supporting Dance Geek. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.